1988.
We still don't get a break. We've been here years. I mean, look at this stuff.
Oh, we promised competitions and...
Hey, metalheads.
Hi, metalheads. Oh, welcome to MTV's Meclamor. The show guarantees you rock, not pop. It's got to be MTV with the Bailey Brothers. Now, as promised from 2 weeks ago, Alice Cooper will join the Bailey Brothers. And Voodoo X, a brand new band on the scene, will join the Baileys in the studio. Everything, Dave.
That's right, Mick. We've got the Paul Gilbert guitar competition, as promised a few weeks ago. We've got a mystery guitar hero we'll introduce you to him later in the show. Plus, Mr. Big albums and CDs to give away. All this and much more in a show that gives you guaranteed rock, no pop.
But first, Meclads, let's accept a new video from...
Accept.
1988.
1945, was it?
I'm delighted to welcome the creator of Theatre Rocky Roll, Mr. Rocky Horror Show, entertainer extraordinaire, Alice Cooper. Welcome to MTV.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, Alice.
It's nice to be on the most popular rock show in the world.
Thank you very much.
Huh?
Now, you've got a brand new album out at the moment called Trash.
Yeah.
And whilst you was on holiday, sunning up in Hawaii, you was approached with an offer by a think refused.
Yes. Well, it's, you know, this album here is like almost a return to the 70s, because I think the 70s sound is really in right now. You know, if you really look at bands like Guns N' Roses and like that, they're really good 70s bands.
Yeah.
You know, and the last two albums that were out were really heavy metal albums, very angry albums. And I think now that I have that out of my system, I can go back to doing a, you know, a broader kind of album where I can do a little bit of horror, sexuality, comedy. You know, I mean, it has a broader sense, but it's all very hard rock.
But you're taking a gamble and sort of base this album around sex. Isn't that because you...
Sex is never a gamble. Well, wait a minute. Yes, it is. Come to think of it, sex is very much a gamble.
I like that one.
Well, you know, it's because I did... The last two albums were so heavily choreographed violence and choreographed blood. And I specialized in that for 2 albums, and I figured if I did another one like that, I would really be painting myself into a corner.
Yeah.
You know, and then people would say, well, that's all Alice does now. Whereas this album, I wanted to be, you know, I wanted to spread out a little more and take more people in, you know.
I think what worries me, Alice, slightly is, we watched you on your last tour, which was excellent. I saw so many young kids there, absolutely enthralled with your stage show.
Yeah.
Is the new stage show going to be too explicit for them, or is it going to be too sexist for the female?
Oh, no, I don't think so, because, I mean, I think once you become explicit, then you lose it. I think you have to be suggestive.
Yeah.
You know, I think suggestive is really the whole trick. Nudity on stage doesn't work, but suggesting it, of course, I think is more effective. Same thing with, you know, I mean, the Alice Cooper show will always be Alice Cooper. It'll be full of surprises. It'll be hard rock all the way through. But on this show, there'll probably be a couple more ballads.
Yeah.
Because you know, we'll be doing Only Women Bleed probably, and Only My Heart Talkin' probably from this album, and it'll be about 50% of the old material and 50% of the new material. But it'll be a hard rock all the way, you know.
Well, let's take off with you. You said you can use anyone you want.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah. Well, they said, you know, it was a great offer. I mean, they said, here's an open checkbook, and there's no time limit. Just give us the album that we all want. And so it was great. It was sort of like we had the bed tracks done. We had the songs all written with Desmond Child and myself, and we had my vocals done. It was all sitting there, and I said, okay, now let's spice it up. Let's use some people that are old friends that we haven't worked with and that are perfect for the songs. So we had Joe Perry, you know, playing guitar on House of Fire. Steve Tyler and I do a ballad duet on Only My Heart Talkin'. John Bon Jovi and I do a song called Trash. And Richie Sambora and I play, where he plays guitar on Hell is Living Without You. And Steve Lukather's on the album, and Kane is on the album, you know.
Okay, we'll get back to that. Very interesting story. First of all, let's play one of your videos from the past. Which one would you like us to play?
Yeah, let's see Freedom.
Okay?
Here we go,
Yeah.
Freedom. Right back. Check it out.
I'll be the one right behind Kane's muscles. Oh, that was me, behind the muscles of Kane Roberts on Freedom, our last thing out that was out here.
Welcome back. Talking of Aerosmith, you sung the song with Steve Tyler. How did the vocal box stand up to that?
Well, I'll tell you, Steve is unbelievable. I always sing it as high as I could possibly sing, and he was an octave higher. So, I mean, you know, the guy, I think he's got one of the very best voices in rock and roll. And, you know, Steve and I tried to who, you know, I mean, and all through the 70s, Aerosmith and Alice Cooper kind of had parallel careers. And we also had parallel drinking. So we never got in the studio together because it was always, you know, one thing or another.
So they'd always got an hangover.
Yeah, it was exactly it. I can't make it today. No. But we were always friends back then, and it was great now in this time slot that we could get together and work together. And Joe Perry and I tried to write, you know, a couple of years ago, and we were just like, you know.
We were talking earlier, Alex, about the previous members have gone on to greater things.
Yeah. Well, Kane is now doing his own album on Geffen Records. Kip Winger, of course, is got
really
like a top 10 album with his band. And Ken Mary is with House of Lords. So that band graduated.
Videos, what can we expect?
Well, in the last tour especially, we worked with people that worked on Aliens and Friday the 13th. But again, it was that horror production. So, I mean, I had to work with people that were really good at what they did. You know, the head had to come off at exactly the right time. Yeah. This arm had to pull off at the right time. All on cue, and with the best of taste, of course.
It must be very difficult for you, though, because most bands just write the songs, put the stage set together and go on tour. You're having to write the songs and get a visual picture on every song to make it all work.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's what makes it fun for me, you know. The music always comes first. I mean, that goes without saying. It's like, if you don't have the music, you don't have the show.
Yeah.
And so, like, we spend 80% of the time on the music and about 20% of the time on the, you know.
So can we see you play live when you're coming over to Europe?
Probably January, February. We start the world tour in October in the States, and then we come over here. You know, we always try to get over here when it's really cold.
Yeah.
We're in the 90s today.
Yeah, I know. You guys are going to be tropical over here pretty soon.
On your last tour of Germany, you kicked some fuss up about your stage dolls and even teddy bears.
Yeah.
What happened here, Alex?
It was a little mix-up they had in your hometown, Sheffield, where we got reviewed saying, you know, that we were, like, doing these horrible things to pregnant women and things like that, which, you know, never happened on stage. And the Germans got a hold of it, and suddenly it was like, you know, I think it was just a big misunderstanding, really, because once they saw the show, then they understood what the show really was. It was really one of, like that game when I tell you something, you tell him something, he tells, by the time it gets around back here, it's totally different. So, I mean, it was really a big misunderstanding. But we had so many, you know, we had like 15,000 tickets sold in Munich, and they were very worried about what the show was about.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with such as your stage show and Wasp. People make a big hype about something what's not really that bad.
Well, I don't think it was that bad. I mean, like I said, it's all rehearsed, and it's something that, it's nothing that you can't really go out to a video store and, you know. But it's done to music, see, it's done to rock and roll, and that suddenly gives it a black eye.
And at the end of the day, though, at the end of the day, the kids are going to see Alice Cooper. If they didn't want to see that type of thing, they wouldn't buy a ticket in the first place.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you know, and it's just one of those things where I like to take the audience on a roller coaster ride, you know, and it's the kind of thing where you throw, they're like this for a second, and and then they're laughing, and that's the idea. It's nothing satanic at all. The Alice Cooper show's never been a anti-religious or a satanic thing at all.
But it doesn't help when you got reviewers and the people's blind.
That's true. From what I understand, the reviewer was blind, and the other reviewer was deaf.
This is true.
So the guy would say, "Did you see what I heard? You know? No, did you hear what I saw?"
Do you write your songs just based purely on fiction and fantasy, or is there any reality or actual events what's happened to Alice Cooper within the song?
Well, I think a little reality escapes every once in a while, but basically it's I try to write for a general thing, you know. A song like you know, like Bed of Nails is a satire on S&M, you know, whereas Poison is sort of like a letter to Penthouse almost, you know. You know, every song touches on a different aspect of sexuality on this album. So everybody can take it the way they want to take it, but it's still all rock and roll.
Well, it's been a great rock and roll show, and it's been great having you on the show.
Thanks.
And talking of
it's great being on the #1 rock and roll show in the world.
No, I've got it somewhere. So I'll give you the money later.
Okay. It's been a pleasure, Alex.
Yeah, you've got a brand new video, Poison, and a single.
Poison, that's it.
Exclusive to MTV. Let's check out. And Kane's not in this one, so you're not hidden behind the muscles this time.
No, that's right. Yeah, but I got guys skinnier than me on this one.
Alice, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.
Here
Check
it
him
is.
out on tour in January and February in Europe.
It's Poison.